right. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Breaking the Block, where we try to help each other not get stuck. If my co-hosts want to introduce themselves, Skye, go first, and then Maggie, if you would.
All right. Hello, everyone. I am Skye. I'm a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance under the name SD Higgis. And I have a video series coming out with about all the writing projects because everyone's been bugging me about that and how I do it. And the answer is I have no clue.
Hello, lovelies. Mama Maggie Ward here, independent author, stroke survivor, and migraine sufferer. And I am currently editing two parallel duologies for the Pagosa Cliffs Anemones and Pagosa Stars series. And muted myself and let everyone listen to me while I was on my 5 a.m. Writers Club stream, which I was late for because our internet was out. I did not turn back on until almost 6 o'clock this morning, which is part of the joys of rural life. Unreliable internet. Yay.
Yep. It's always so much fun. All right. For those of you who do not know me, I am writer Sam Wicker, and I write romantasy. And yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Sometimes the brain works and sometimes it does not. All right. So does anybody up on screen have anything that they want to go over before we jump into our two main topics? And I do believe that we're probably going to hit on a third because of what happened with Nano.
Yes, if you haven't seen my video for yesterday, for my little rant, please go to it. I explain the differences between generative and non-generative AI, and I was very proud of myself because the original just raw video was like an hour of me just ranting. And I trimmed it down to 13 minutes, so I am very proud of myself.
Nice.
There's still a little bit of ranty parts about it, but yeah, Nano, honestly, I am with that part of AuthorTube that is literally going, keep the challenge, toss the organization.
Yeah, for real.
Mm-hmm. Because the last year... Oh, thank you, Sam. Because the last year, they between the grooming scandal and some of the other stuff going on about and now that weird statement at the beginning of the week saying that if you don't use AI, you're ableist and classist, implying that neurodivergent people and impoverished people can't write 50,000 words without AI. And then their statement that then followed that was like even more disturbing. It was an interesting week. In the Nano community, there were a lot of people that left Nano last year when this happened. There were a lot of people that are leaving Nano this week.
Yeah.
And it's very disturbing. I'm going to share a video that I shared on my thing by Meredith Phillips, who is she's a Regency romance author. And she basically goes through the news statement line by line, and she makes the observations that I feel any rational person would make about basically what the statement says. And it's honestly, the first one, I was like, I really hope that this is just a poorly written AI statement. And the second one, I hope that they don't mean like writing by any means necessary and without anything about, not plagiarizing other people and stuff like that. It's just very disturbing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it is all of the topics that is going around right now.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad when there's people who do not participate in Nano, do not participate in AuthorTube, and have nothing to do with AuthorTube or Nano or writing in general. They're readers. They're not authors or writers, and they're talking about how bad this is. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, it is. I kind of wish that John was with us today. Hopefully he'll be able to join us soon so that he could put his 2 cents in with the knowledge about AI that he has.
Yeah, I wish John could be here. And Self-Pub with Andy and Richard and Martin. I wish people who were more tech savvy than me could be here to talk about it. But it's a big thing. There is a big difference between non-generative AI, which is stuff we use for spell checking and MapQuest and sorry, allergies and things like that. Non-generative AI, which is input, it is trained, it knows to look for our patterns, and I don't want to say it has limitations, but basically it works in the parameter. But as humans, we have to give it a nudge sometimes, because we all know that when we're doing like the Grammarly spell checks, we see things that it's like Grammarly's like, you must fix this. And you're like, no, that's not what I meant at all. This is not the right sentence at all. Why are you putting this here for the grammar? This is not right. And then there's a thing called generative AI, which generative AI is the thing that everyone is having the freak out about, because the way generative AI works is it's like you're teaching a toddler. And so you show it all these things, like whether it's artwork, whether it's writing, whether it's speaking, whether it's media, you show it all of this stuff and you input all this data into it, and then it creates its own thing for you to use. And the thing is it's not really creating it. What it's doing is it's doing pattern replication. It is replicating the things it's seen in thousands of works of art, in thousands of literary works, books, novels, emails, chat logs, all of that. And then it just repeats the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is it really gets into where's the line for plagiarism? Yeah. Where's the line for copyright infringement? I use Leonardo AI for my covers. Full disclosure, my Relic of Time War series, all the covers are from Leonardo AI. However, it has a function on it that you can click to not use existing artwork. And if you could go into Drabble and go into Pro Writing Aid, which is, those are NaNoWriMo corporate sponsors, and click do not use existing work when you're trying to create a prompt or something, that would be fine, but that is not an option. And unfortunately, we use the non-generative AI for everything, but the generative AI is where you get to the point where you are plagiarizing things. There is already they're already building a Jane Austen AI to write more Jane Austen books in the style of Jane Austen, in Jane Austen's voice. And these are things that as authors, they are completely removing the human element. And the way they originally put it was very elitist. They're like, it's, I don't want to target things, but it's like this liberal mentality that to do what we say, not what we do, because we're better than you.
Right.
And it's unfortunately, that is the NaNoWriMo organization's attitude toward neurodivergent people and lower income people, because these programs are extremely expensive. And then after 4 days of the forums blowing up, of people leaving en masse, like several thousands of people left the NaNoWriMo organization site, they released a new statement. And as Jay says, it was an attack on writers. And, they're blaming the writers for being intolerant and for, attacking, we're not attacking the use of AI. All of us use non-generative AI in our writing all of the time.
Yep.
What we are attacking is generative AI, which people are literally using to replace writers. And I mean, even Amazon is having this battle with AI written books popping up to the tune of hundreds per day that they're having to catch and remove, because basically someone feeds an AI, I need 40,000 words. These are my character names. These are the tropes I want. Go. And it will just spit it out. And it's not well written. The plots don't make sense. The characters don't make sense. All of the work that we as human writers put into creating works of fiction is just getting shuttled. And the thing is we spend months, years, decades on our books. And AI can do it in an hour.
Yeah.
And it's crap. And they just put it on there. And literally there are groups that are flooding the markets. What is her name? Rach Tolstoy is her social media name, but she was talking about in Russia that literally there are so many AI books being dumped into the Russian reader market that real authors don't even have a hope, because it's hundreds and thousands of books per day. And the same thing is happening in the Asian markets. They are just dumping these mass market AI clones of works.
Thanks.
Yeah, basically, if you're using generative AI, I used this metaphor yesterday in my video. If you're using generative AI, you're basically creating a story turducken. You're just wrapping all these things together, rolling it up, slicing it off, and hoping it tastes good. Which turducken does taste good if it's done right. If it's done wrong, blah.
Yeah, so it just, I do believe that the first thing that they sent out was written by AI, because it is so passive aggressive that it sounds like something that AI would do. And that's just kind of what I believe. And Devin says no one proofread the article. Yeah. And sadly it might backlash on pro writing aid, especially with the new Sparks feature. Yeah. Jay says, from a developmental editor's perspective, I'm dreading the day when someone comes to me with an AI generated book and wants me to make it make sense.
That day is tomorrow, Jace. That day is tomorrow. I love you, Jace.
Oh, goodness. Jenna says assistive AI are like Rosie from Jetsons, only there to help. Generative AI is like Ultron. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, there are forms of AI that are amazing. That they get you around traffic jams. They tell you to go to the doctor. There's this new thing where they're using AIs to scan mammograms and people with potential cancers, and they are finding tumors years earlier than they would find it normally. Yeah. And that's amazing.
This. Oh my gosh. So she asked them to do a self-edit and give it back to her.
Yes. Yeah, Jenna got an AI written book, and what, are you sure you don't want to join us and have the rant, Jenna? Join us, Jenna. Join us.
Cat Paw says it feels a bit unfair. Oh, go ahead.
No, her comment is actually what I want to talk about next. So,
Yeah.
Because when you go to the Nano site and you look at their sponsors, and I just double checked to make sure I wasn't speaking out of my butt about this, but when you click on Dabble, it goes to a brand new website that says NaNoWriMo plus Dabble. It's not even the Dabble website anymore. They are complete partners. They're not sponsors. They're partners. And that's worrisome, because that means, you know how you have to put all of your text to verify your word count? Does that mean that they are feeding what you put into an AI machine now?
Yeah. I will not be putting. That's why they had started asking for that during camp, and so I didn't do camp this year. And I will not be putting the text of my books in to prove my word count. Years ago, they did that. They would ask you to put in the text you were writing as you were writing it.
Yeah.
And then it would count the words, and then it would delete, and verify the word count, and then delete it. And it wasn't keeping the whole text. Now it's tracking the whole text.
Yep.
The whole thing stays in Nano.
Yeah.
So I've tracked almost 2 million words with Nano, and I will not be tracking anymore.
I have not deleted my account yet because I want to make a spreadsheet and put all of my tracking information from the Nano site into the spreadsheet. But as soon as I finish doing that, that's what I should have worked on my stream last night. As soon as I finish doing that, I am deleting my account because no. Mm-mm.
Well, and I was on a thing, on a Twitter X discussion with someone, and I was like, well, it's if you're using these functions of pro writing aid, you're using AI, generative AI, because and there was a guy who was just vehemently arguing with me that pro writing aid doesn't have AI, and I was like, do you not understand? So yeah, I was like, yeah, I hate to tell you that it does have AI, but the thing is AI will generative AI will never replace a good developmental editor. It will never replace actually physically editing something for grammar and spelling and spell checking and name verification throughout a document and place name verification throughout a document. It will never be able to do this. It tries to do this. It tries really hard. Scrivener tries really hard to do this. But it's going to need a person, because everything, if we just we used to make jokes about people who they write their Wattpad novel, they put it through a grammar editor once, and then they post it on Amazon. That's the way that, all of these books are going to have technical, the law of grammar, and the sentences aren't going to make sense, because human language is an evolving thing, and people don't talk the way the grammar rules are written.
Yeah. Oh yeah, everybody skims their work. That was another thing with Google Docs, I do believe. I think it was this year, might have been last year. Where somebody was really and
Google Docs and Gmail got in trouble for using the written inputs to train their AI.
Yeah. And I've used Dabble. I used to use Dabble all the time. But then it just kept getting, I guess the best word to say is worse. with things. And now I just use Google Docs because I'm like, screw it.
I am too, Jace.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people did after the grooming scandal when they had a moderator that was interacting with the junior nano groups and was getting young people off into side chats and inappropriately messaging them. And they tried to cover it up, and that never works well.
Nope.
And it's like they when they made this first statement, they immediately tried, they have backtracked, completely deleted the first statement, and they need to realize the internet's forever. So many people have screenshots of this, are sharing screenshots of this.
Yeah. I thought that I had deleted my account back when this first happened, but I went back to it and I'm like, oh, it's still there. So now it's deleted. I just turned it off, which is annoying, kept me pushing me to use it. And I was like, where's your off switch? Yeah. Jay says, part of me is hoping Nano can get back on track and return to the basics. I fear they may have since her writers lost the plot. I believe so. Here's my thing. There are a ton of businesses out there. There are a ton of corporations out there that are writing and reading related that they can get as sponsors that have nothing to do with AI. So why?
And why would they push it that it's a writing tool that neurodivergence and poor people have to use to write? That was just such a tone in the first one.
Yeah.
And then the second tone was, oh, you writers are just, they didn't say elitist in the second one, but they implied that writers were being unfair. And they're like, and we are neutral in this. They tried to play the Switzerland flag. And I'm like, you opened this book.
Yeah.
And now you don't want to talk about what you wrote in it. And it, and unfortunately for spearheading rival novel writing, they cannot take a neutral stance on generative versus non-generative AI. But that's my opinion. And what do I know? I just do things.
Yeah.
I don't even have a problem with their statement on AI. I was more upset about the fact that they were basically attacking everyone, saying that if you are against AI, you're ableist and classism. That was the part that sparked the anger for me. Because I was like, if you want to support AI, that's on you, Bubby. I don't give a crap. But that
Yeah. To imply that people who are neurodivergent can't write without AI, that people who are lower income, and it's just my takeaway from that is because NaNoWriMo was originally established through the university system in California, is like, oh, if you don't have a degree in a PhD in literature, you should not be writing.
Yeah.
Why is it that comes up every 3 or 4 years, that people who without literature degrees should not be writing?
It's the whole gatekeepers reaching for straws.
Yeah, well, in the last 5 years, since the pandy, really, indie authors have blown up. Authors have blown up. There are 1,000 times more publishing than the big four trad houses. They are selling a lot more books than the trad houses, and I think honestly that the publishing industry is running scared, and they're running to AI. Oh yes, Daniel Green's video.
I'm pulling it up so I could share it in the thing.
But I've got several things on my Facebook author page that are links to blogs about this, links to videos about this, and yeah.
I was joking earlier in some stream or another that there's 60 plus videos on my watch later list And I've got at least 10 of them are nano scandal related. Now I got a new one ad.
Yeah, exactly. Then we can sure still do 50K words of our own. Yes, we can. They might be backwards in some places, but we can do it. Should not and are not writers. Exactly. Most of them are reading teachers.
Mm-hmm.
My experience with people who have literature degrees they are literally professors. They went back and they are teachers and professors. Most of them are professors in my experience. So, yeah. Let's see.
Devin. Exactly. We can
Yeah,
do 50K not during the holidays.
Okay, not you, Jace. We love
There are
you.
exceptions. Gosh,
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, it's yeah, I posted it too because I'm co-streaming. I posted it on mine because I hate the fact that the StreamYard chats that are coming in from different channels only show up on that channel and don't share to the channels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sharing. I'm also sharing. But it's I don't know what the answer is. I don't know. Yet no, they picked November because NO. Like no novel NOVE and November NOVE. That is why they picked November.
Yeah.
Actually, as someone who hosted Junior Nano, and our school gets a week off for Thanksgiving, that was the biggest pain in the butt. When we did camp in April, there was a week off for spring break.
Yeah.
So
we've got a question over on the Twitch channel.
Hello. Yeah. I got a question about writing. I have had ideas about stories and worked out the plot, characters, all the good things. The problem I have is losing all motivation because I have finished it in my head and don't want to write it because it's finished to me. Has this happened to any of you? Number one. And number two, how do you get motivated to write the novel? Yes, people, I think you guys talked about this last week and the week before. It actually ended up we've talked about this a couple of times, is you spend so much time writing, plotting, character building, that when it comes to actually writing the novel, your brain is like, oh, I've already written this.
Yeah. This happens to me all the time. If you go back to some of my first videos, which we're going to do later today because of my 5-year celebration thing, yeah, I talk a lot about my writing and a lot about my books and everything. And by the time those videos were finished, I didn't want to write those stories anymore because I already told everybody about it. So what I did is I just started writing. And I don't tell y'all about it until it is at least 75% done. Because that way I don't trick myself into thinking that I've already told y'all the story. So yeah. With plotting for me, I'm not a plotter. I'm more of a pantser. I plot whenever I get stuck. So that's the reason why I don't plot, because I've already told the story. That might work for you, but for most people it does not. They have to have a plan. So if you're plotting so much that you've already told the story, maybe just do a sentence per plot point or per chapter or per scene. That way it triggers what you want to write. And it's not necessarily that you have told the story already. you've just highlighted the parts, if that makes sense.
See, one of the ways I work around this is I treat my plot like a tourist brochure, that it is a recommendation of places to visit along my little touristy plot path. And I write in places, write scene about this here, slice of life scene, dinner between two characters scene, funny scene about this. And I will stick those into my plot outline so that I'm writing the book and then I hit a place where I am forced to write creatively outside the story frame. And that is part of the thing that keeps my enthusiasm for writing the story fresh, because yes, I have this thing. Yes, I have this destination in mind, but oh, look, it's the world's largest ball of string. Let's go see that. and that is what helps me keep it fresh. Unfortunately, the side effect of this is when I'm editing, I'm like, ooh, I could write a scene here. No, God, no more words. So that would be my recommendation. That is the thing that works for me. And if you've been following my channel or following us talking on this for a while, you know that I'm this immense world builder. I have like 5, 10, 50,000 word building documents.
Yeah.
So yeah, putting in places where you are forced to write something outside of the plot, and don't be afraid if it shifts your plot away from what you planned, because the muse will go where the muse wants to go, and no amount of chasing her with a butterfly net will get her back. If she goes off on the side trail, then you follow her off on the side trail and you slowly work back toward your points. Yep. And sometimes there's points that you've put in your plot that don't work in the story after you've written these fresh scenes. Don't worry about it. There is no hard and fast rule that says you absolutely have to have this. Save the cat is great, but sometimes the beats don't work.
Yeah. If you fall off the tree, just climb back up.
Yep. I am a plotter, and I do like loose bullet points. I usually know like the inciting incident that sparks the rest of the story and the ending, and maybe some of the stuff in between. But every time I've written outline, like I'm running into the problem right now with the story I send to my newsletter subscribers. I get a new fresh idea on how to take away, and like the rest of my outline just goes out the door. It's like I should never have created in the first place. You know those scenes where people take a stack of papers and just throw them all over the air? Yep, that's me every single time.
And this is another good point too. If you feel like you have to plot and plan out as much as you do, you can't like pull back a little bit, then get back into your characters with writing a short story or a side story with them so that you can get the momentum back going. First time editing my own writing for that reason. Story is over. Why am I exactly? Yeah. Looking at you. I'm no hero with the 8 million redrafts. For detours, that helped out a lot. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Devin says, I'm a plantser. I have a few key points and I know the ending. That's all I got. Half the time I don't know the ending of mine. There's like 4 different things that could happen. It's like, let's see which ones the character leads us to. Yes, the last couple of episodes, for Breaking the Block over on Twitch might be helpful for you to rewatch. Yes. Mm-hmm. Insert scene here. Places inevitably turn into new plots, and I have to rework the entire novel around them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you need to add the scene. Yes.
No. I already have my if you go to my Google, if I've shared on Google Docs 30 interview questions for characters and my world building tips and tricks. Those are as close to textbooky that I will ever write. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have the whip chat videos that I have done. So
Yeah, links to Skye and Mama Maggie's channel should be in the description box in both places. So make sure to check those out. Jenna says, for a series, I have to know how the next book starts before I write the ending to the current installment. It's a good plan. I might try that next time. Right now, my series are like standalone books. They're in the same world, but they don't have to follow one another. Thank goodness.
90% of my series I didn't know were going to be a series in the first place. They were supposed to be standalone novels. Dang it! How dare they?
I you know me in series. Hi, my name is Maggie. I'm a wordaholic. And everything is at least a duology. The fact that I have been able to release a few standalone books at all is a miracle to me.
They're standalone for now.
I don't have time to write the Nordic Chimera. I don't have time. I've already written a title for it. So Sam. I have to edit Servants of the Moon. I have to finish publishing Relic of Time Wars. Stop. I'm gonna cry now.
Epic thinkers.
The characters are so lonely. They need a new book.
Yeah, the characters so lonely need a new book is how I've got two parallel series, both set in Pagosa Cliffs, one following the Wild and Enemy Bakery, one following the Sheriff's Department and the McConnell Ballard clan. And I'm having to go through 150,000 word documents and make sure the places they overlap, the dialogue is the same right now. That is an editing nightmare. And you all had to listen to it on my last stream.
So needless to say, this might be the wrong group to ask that question to. How not to write a series? No.
How to turn a short story into a series. That's what we can do.
Yes, that right there. How to turn a single book into a trilogy.
Short stories are just story seeds. Can we just call them what they are? They're story seeds. That's all.
Don't tell the short story I'm working on that, okay? It's already trying to become a novel.
Ask Sam about the short story that I'm writing about.
Or Sam about the Ninja series.
Jeez, no, don't ask Sam about the Ninja series.
Yeah,
so, for those of you that don't know, there is a Bog Hag anthology going on now, and I joined it thinking, Bog Hag, short story, I could do this. It might turn into a novel, and it might become a sequel to The Belle Earth Witch. I don't know. It's in the same area. Why not?
I am writing my Bog Hag speed dating sparkly vampires short. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
This is the reason why I don't write the character randomizer short stories right after the character randomizer, because that's when they turn into the novel. And I know this about myself. I figured it out. I can learn. So I'll wait. Yeah, I cannot wait to see all the Bog Hag short stories.
Yeah.
Jay says, how to write a short story from Epic Thinker. Fit the short story into one of your epic universes. Additions and extensions don't have to extend the story that way. Mm-hmm. Easier said than done.
Yeah, you might be, Devin.
Probably.
Because I am already 3 times that long, and they're hiding in Eudora's house.
Let's see.
The house on the chicken legs, because her grandmother was the Baba Yaga.
I love a good Baba Yaga story.
He's a Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
She just went to the speed dating because she needed to lure a troll back to her house or for a recipe.
I'm already 1K. So, yeah.
I haven't started writing mine yet, but based on the ideas I have in my head, it's going to be closer to the 5K limit.
Definitely.
No words left behind.
Stop putting plot bunnies in my brain. I already have too many. Yep. I started a 12-book series because you're welcome.
Which series? Because that's not the Myrna Annals, is it?
No, the
No,
Myrna
it's
Annals she's been working on for a while.
Yeah, and I thought that had more than 12 when you count all of the books together.
Yeah.
Between all the series.
This is another series.
Does anyone have the link to the sign-up sheet for the Bog Hag anthology?
I can get it real quick.
I'm trying to find it and I can't find it. I don't.
Shared with me.
It's going to be there are so many people working on this. This is going to end up being a collection. It's either going to be like this gigantic thick book, or it's going to be, she's going to have to put out 4 books.
Yeah.
Regalox relics. Well, Jenna, you know that my 30,000 flash word fiction War of Prophecies turned into a 1.4 million word, 14 books in the main series, 4 books in the prequel, and I still have 3 more books to write.
I have 11 in the one series, 3 different series in the same universe. Yeah, so.
Ooh, nice. I like that. Okay, it's Regulus, right? Really? Yes. Regulus. 3 drafted.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, Jenna's got a shorter version of the link if y'all want to hit this one up. Because I can't find my bit.ly page and I have 100 tabs open, so good luck with that, Sam. Good luck with that. Jay says my Bog Hag story is a romantic horror, but it fits into the universe I'm writing for both my young adult urban fantasy series and my erotic horror anthology series. Same universe. Safe versus After Dark. That
interesting.
Is lovely. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, mine is enemies to allies and forced proximity.
In her announcement video, since she talked about the fact that you can take Bog Hag from whatever you did, and I first learned about a Bog Hag when I started playing D&D. I was like, oh, I'm doing a D&D related one.
Yeah. There was an old, really old story that I guess it was my great uncle used to tell us almost every Christmas because he would spend the night or something. And it had a hag in it, and that's just automatically what my brain went to. So my hag is, taking over a good country Christian family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't realize it was poetry related. Let's see. Mine plays into an attraction in my short. Nice. Okay. So, do we dare to go on into another question?
Sure.
Maybe? Yeah. Okay. Let's do this one. All right. So, where is the point that you realize you are burned out instead of blocked?
For me, it's I know I need to take a break because like when I get blocked, I will hop ahead of the block. And if I can't do that, I will switch projects because I never have just one project going at once. I don't do that. And if I'm project hopping, like especially the last year and a half with these severe, intense migraines I've been having, I was struggling to write creatively, and so I went into editing mode, and that's mainly what I've been doing. But it's when even project hopping, writing flash fictions, trying to write short stories and stuff, when even those are not working, that I think is where you realize that I'm going to have to just step away from this for a while, do some crocheting, sit under a tree, spend time with my bees.
Yeah. So I hit up a couple of these. Jay says, easy, I don't get blocked, so it's always burnout. And Rachel says, for me, burnout usually comes with a dose of nothing works, not just a work in progress.
Ooh.
Jenna says, I was burned out on my teaching career, not on my writing. However, because I taught writing, that bled into me not writing from 2012 to 2020 when I suddenly had more time than I could handle on my hands. I turned to my husband and asked, so, Angelique or Neftiri? The Egyptian vampire. Yes. Let's see. Devin says, burned out, finishing the 0 draft and immediately go into personal edits of draft 2. Never going to do that again. I don't blame you. Mental breaks are necessary. Yeah.
And as authors, as we need to not be ashamed when we can't write. If you are blocked, if you are stuck, if you are not able to do that, maybe it's your health, like it was with me. Maybe you're chasing your kids all over summer fair, 4-H, everything, swim group, everything on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
all the sports stuff.
Maybe you're moving and the dogs and all of that stuff going on and the family things. It is okay as a writer to step back from writing.
Yeah.
And this idea that, oh no, you have to do all of this writing all of the time or you're not a real writer. That's crap. That's as much crap, as big of a mountain of poo as that whole, there is only one writing method and everyone on the earth must use save the cat.
I think that's the reason I hate the idea of writing every day, because I have always failed at that.
Yeah.
Well, and writing should be something you love. It should be something that's fun. It should be your reward. It should give you that endorphin hit. Editing and marketing, not so much. But writing should be a thing that just makes you happy. And if for some reason, like if you feel like that Monday morning when you don't want to get out of bed and go to the job, if writing starts to give you that feeling, it's either the project you're writing or you need to take a break from writing. And there's no shame in it. Take a break from writing. Mm-hmm. It's fine. Sometimes it helps to change up the way you're writing, change up your location of writing. Change what you're doing when you're writing. Switch from coffee to tea. Forgive me, oh great coffee. Try eating a lemon pie instead of a chocolate pie. Just, you need to do what works for you. And like, and, maybe sit down and interview your character. Maybe sit down and look at your world building. Maybe look at your plot. If you are trying too hard to shoehorn something in, that's a block. But if you are to the point that just you cannot get here, you cannot find anything up here to come out here, then you need a break. And it is your mind telling you need a break, because we all need that creative refill. When you hear fill the well, it's not just a metaphor. It is something that you need to do for your mental health. Yeah. It is something that you need to do to fill that part of yourself so you can start creating again. And stress gets in the way. The world gets in the way. Everything is so loud in the world around us right now that is literally screaming at us on 20 channels to 200 channels constantly. And those bleed into your writing life. And everyone's like, oh, I just tune it all out and write. Well, yay, good for you, because not all of us can do that. Some of us, the world bleeds in. Yeah. And taking a break for a week, for a month, stop writing and join a readathon. Yeah. That is a good way to refill your well. Binge watch Netflix. That is a good way to refill your well. Now, don't let it become an excuse and forever binge, or switch from being a writer to a reader, because that has happened to people.
Oh,
but if you're afraid you won't get back to writing, then when you're burned out, set yourself someday in the future, a week away, a month away, a season away, to start writing again. I have a friend who only writes in the winter. She only writes in the winter. Mm-hmm. Spring, summer, fall, nope. She's got stuff to do, but she only writes in the winter.
Yeah. On that, I was watching a video yesterday from an artist's point of view, and that's exactly what she does. She was talking about selling versus creating her artwork. And she was talking about the fact that she spends 6 months out of the year doing nothing but creating. And then the other 6 months is when she markets and sells, and she does seasons of when she's going to do everything. Kitty!
The murder mittens keep climbing up my leg.
No. So I'm one of those that I always have to be doing something related to my business. And I get burned out easily. What I have been trying to do is making sure that I take a weekend every week and I don't touch anything that is writing related, marketing related, or anything like that. I make sure I spend 2 days with my husband, with my dogs, not worrying about books or anything like that. Sorry about that.
Bye, Jace.
See you, Jace.
Yeah, do not let yourself feel bad if you have to stop, if you take a break. If you carry a notebook with you, or you can record on your phone, if you have an idea for your book, while you're out and about with family, friends, doing whatever, then do that. But do not feel like you're obligated to come in, sit down, write 1,000 words before you ever have your first cup of coffee. Not all of us are Stephen King. The man is insane. Just accept it. Writing before coffee.
And that's another thing too. A lot of writers say, I have a strict schedule. I get up every morning at 6:30 a.m. I do this, I do that, and then I start writing, and I write for 4 hours, and then I take lunch, and then I write for another 4 hours. Some of us cannot do that. I, for one, am the world's worst at sticking to a schedule for myself because I use the excuse that I'm an Aquarius. I am like water and air. I have to do whatever I want to do at that moment. And that's the reason why I like the HB90 method, the way that you can time block everything out and you can move those blocks around. That's how I get what I do get done accomplished. So sometimes it's just a matter of figuring yourself out so that you don't run into burnout as often, or you don't run into burnout at all.
That's actually the schedule stuff. Every time I try to set a schedule, that's when my brain is like, well, now I don't wanna.
Exactly.
And then
It's like telling you what to do is like, meh.
And I just realized I never actually answered the question. Part of the reason I have so many projects in works is for that exact reason. When I get stuck on something, whether it's the plot or just my own mentality is just cannot go forward, that was when I switched projects. And that's why I have so many projects in several different various stages of drafting, editing, ready to publish kind of thing.
Yeah.
And when I can't work on any of them, when I get to that point where I just look at everything and nothing looks like I want to write on something, that's when I know I've hit burnout. And I'm just like, yep, we're done.
Yeah. And go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I struggle with goal brain, OCD goal brain, must finish the goal, must do this. And you've all seen me like have the chat hasn't, but you two have seen me have these breakdown moments where I'm just like, my brain hates me. Yeah. And that's, don't get upset about that. Give yourself the grace to move your goals, to move your deadlines. Understanding that your brain is not going to do this right now. And it's like, and the other thing is please, for the love of all that is holy and whatever deity you pray to, please, do not let the imp compare you to any other writer.
Yeah.
Do not do that, because imposter syndrome, the whole thing it does is it speaks to you in the voice of the person that ridiculed you or shamed you or mocked you the most. It is the voice of your insecurity telling you you can't do this, you're not a real writer, unless you can be famous and this and have this many words a day and have all these books. No. Don't put yourself through that. Get some duct tape, get a chair, tape the imp to the chair, put him in a closet, duct tape around the door so no air or bugs gets in there. Eventually the smell will go away.
That's why they invented mothballs, right? Right.
That's exactly why.
Mothballs and pine saw.
Just get one of those plug-in air fresheners. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. And get one of those bug zappers for the bugs. That might happen. This right here. So a lot of times I confuse the depression with burnout and vice versa. Ooh. So if you can find a way to catch the early signs, and this is like studying yourself, and this is the worst. I'm the worst person to be talking about this because I don't pay attention to myself. I pay attention to everything around me. I don't pay attention to myself. But if you can manage to pay attention to yourself and catch those early signs, go ahead and take a break. Go ahead and do something else that is creative so that it can in turn fill the creative well that is writing. Yeah. Unconditional self-love sometimes comes from unconditional writing love.
Yeah.
Comparison is a thief of creativity. Yes. I've always liked that quote.
Same.
Are you calm down now? Yeah. Okay.
No, ma. No.
No.
No, I'm not calmed down. Time for zoomies.
I was trying
Time to
to.
make biscuits on Mom with the murder mittens.
I was trying to straighten up yesterday, and I stupidly put some of the plastic lids of the totes that I use that are open that I can slide in and out on top of things, and that's what fell. So I do apologize for that noise and for her claws digging into the floor and doing the whole tippy tappy thing because she gets very, very scared with loud noises. And yeah, my bad. So when are we going to do our own month?
I am totes in for October.
October might be a good one.
Same. October, and using a spreadsheet that we can all add our own word counts to.
Yes.
Wintwords?
Which one? What?
Wintwords? Winter words?
Oh, you're talking about like a name.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking about site, and I'm like, what is that? I've never heard of that.
I still like the Racha, the the Autumn Authors Writing Challenge, Racha. But my friend Jillian down in New Zealand pointed out that it is spring there in October, and so yeah, that won't work for the Southern Hemisphere. So she was like, you can't do seasonal names. They're cute, but you can't use them because it's not the same season anywhere.
Correct.
I love this.
You
This
have
is
to dance with it. Hello, Nicole. Yes, we spent several minutes, like 15 minutes, talking about the Bog Hag anthology.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I think a lot of people are saying October. Jace on my stream suggested January, but January is when the 85K90 runs, January through March 31st, which is 85,000 words in 90 days. If you don't know, it's 945 words a day. It's to ease you into writing for the rest of the year. Witchy Writer Month.
Yeah, so my only thing with this is I have troubles with W's and R's, so it would be We-Rimo.
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 And the other thing is there are some people that just because it has the word witchy in it, they will not do it. And there's a lot of cultures where witchy is a bad thing, and it's like, keep your prejudice to yourself. But so to be inclusive, I put a whole bunch of suggestions on my stream yesterday, and it's on my Facebook page, my suggestions. But like I said, Jillian pointed out to me that I had a lot of seasonal ones. So that don't necessarily fit with the seasons in both hemispheres.
Yeah.
Fall into 50K. I like that one. 50K for fall. It's but I think that as author tubers, I think we're going to be the one to keep the challenge and lose the organization, because unfortunately they're no longer pro writer, and that's very sad to me.
Yeah.
October.
Rightober.
Yeah, what about Rocktober? Rocking out 50K.
Or Rightober. We could go Rightober.
Rightober. Yeah.
Rightober.
That's how I was pronouncing it in my head. I was like, it's Rocktober.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that. But I do like Jenna's suggestion where we do like a Google form for people to put in suggestions and then we vote on it. October. Yeah, word counts take their toll.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is I've discovered, well, you know me, I am like the word count queen, but I've discovered that I'm actually more productive doing the sprint counts.
Same.
Yeah.
Doing sprint counts. Like I've been doing the 100 sprints a month, and I started doing that for Nano last year, where I was doing sprints. I'm finding that the sprint counting is actually more productive for me than the word counting.
Okay. So maybe we could break it into, because I know Reem did the time or word count depending on which.
Years ago, Nano let you track time, let you track how many minutes and hours you sprinted. And then they took that away and went straight for the words.
Yeah.
And I think there's more than one word count to track productivity. I know some people see the word productivity in a negative connotation because of the toxic productivity trend that was going on a few years ago, but that's what it is. It is productivity. And I think that, having an author challenge where you're, even if it's AWRIMO, author writing month, that offering the ability to track either sprints by time or word count, I think that would help a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And because, if you don't do like a Preptober thing and you start raw on the 1st, you're spending 10, 20 hours character building, world building, plotting. That is an investment of your time that should be tracked and should be recognized, because that is part of the writing process. And just like editing is part of the writing process and should be tracked and should be acknowledged. Yeah. So, there's a lot of potential for this. There are already people asking, are there websites for alternate challenges and stuff like that? So, I don't know.
Seems like I saw a couple of web pages pop up here recently, and I didn't save them. So we'll see if I can find them again and maybe put them in the comments or something. But yeah, a lot of it was on the NaNoWriMo forum or comments thing where those articles were. Let's see. Especially if you're editing, I prefer time. Like I showed up for my hour or whatever, but today was only 300 words. Tomorrow, maybe 2,000. Right. Mm-hmm. Never won Nano anyway. All of my first drafts were around 40K, so time would be better for me. Yeah. So we could probably break it down. I know another person counts by scenes because she tries to have all of her scenes in a similar word count kind of thing, but she counts by scenes. And she doesn't like counting by time because, like this right here, sometimes it's 300 words, sometimes it's 2,000 words. So she just counts by scenes done. So that might be another do time, do scenes, do word count.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, going down to Nicole's comment, there's a lot of stuff popping up on Reddit for Nano alternatives.
Yeah. And we can do, I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of different groups doing their own thing. So it doesn't have to be everybody all together.
We're all in this together.
Yeah. And and it would be super easy to like pop up a Redbubble like thing. Like, I know if we're doing like since we're doing October, to have like just like the little logo, like just the letter logo in the center of like a spider web, and just like out each spider web have writing, plotting, sprinting. Just, people love their merch.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing that I'm going to miss about Nano is I've gotten a coffee mug every year for like the last 6 years. I got all my little nano mugs that I trot out every nano. And yep, now.
Yeah, there's an idea. You can cover them with decals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It really kind of made me mad with the whole grooming thing, but that I kind of wrote off as that was a person.
That was a bad actor.
Yeah. But the way they tried to cover it up, it just left a bad taste in my mouth. And then this, it's like, yeah, no.
Well, I'm honestly, the only way Nano is going to save itself now is they're going to have to do they're going to have to do a major restructure, and they're going to have to say, okay, we don't support plagiarism. We weren't trying to be elitist. Generative AI is fine for limited, like prompts, writing prompts, assisting with dialogue, and assisting with plot points, and that's it.
Yeah.
But like everyone says, no one is comfortable with like uploading their novel into the Nano site to verify word count.
Mm-mm.
You know, and
Yeah.
especially not if it's going to be used to train AI, generative AI.
Yeah.
We put a lot of work in this. We put a lot of brain power and effort into this. And you know, I've told my husband before. I said, honestly, working on the farm, cleaning the house, taking care of you and the girls, that's the easy part of my life. It's when I have to sit down and write. It's when I have to sit down and edit. Those are the things that, yes, I'm excited for them, but they make me so tired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this right here, whenever I read that, I had to read that sentence twice. Because I'm like, did they just really?
Well, it's expensive. Pro writing aid is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's expensive.
and you know, it's nice if you can drop $500 to $700 a year on it.
Mm.
Most of us don't have that luxury. Not when we live in states where the cost of living per individual is now $100,000.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I'm going to miss about NaNoWriMo was the perks of when you won. You know, like the 50% off of Pro Writing Aid, the, what was it, 25% off of Scrivener or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to miss.
Well, and it's like, and on, be honest, the little things we get to print out at the end, that is a wonderful endorphin boost. I have like 10 of them on my wall up here from different camps and stuff like that I've printed out and that I'm going to be taking down now because
yeah,
yeah.
Bad. Let's see. What was it? Bad juju?
Yeah.
No, I ain't the right one. I can't remember. There's a quote that usually lives in the back of my head somewhere that's, you know, bad job, bad something. And now I can't pull it forward. But yeah, that's okay.
I'm with Capwa. I think what I'm going to miss is the camp cabins. That's legit the only thing I'm going to miss.
Well, see, I've had the same group.
I've always been in a different group
for 5 years, 6 years. I've had the same Scribbler's Corner group in the that started as a cabin and then became a group and has just stayed. All of us just stay together in contact, supporting each other through Nano.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, those perks are how they should be helping the communities. Yeah. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, we can make those. We can do those. Rotober.
Yeah. Rocktober.
I really like the idea of Rocktober.
Rocktober. Cool. I did my duty for the day. I'm going to, bounce out. Have a good rest of your day, Devin.
Yeah, I have to go to the grocery store because we didn't pick up a grocery order this week, and I canceled the one I put in because I was 3 days down with a migraine, and I have no milk, I have no butter, I have no coffee.
Yeah. All right, so we'll hit the next question next week. Thank you, Jenna. I was about to pop this into the stream, but yes, I have an anniversary stream at 1 p.m. Eastern. I've been down here creating content for 5 years. That's weird to me, but we'll have that discussion during the anniversary thing. Yeah, and the pep talk emails is another thing that I'm gonna miss.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
I'll miss the forums. I'll miss the chatting forums when people were helping people with writing block problems and things like that.
I was so much of an introvert that I never went to the forums, even though that they're online. I was like, no, people. Thank you. All right, so let's just go ahead and wrap this up so everybody can have some lunch or whatnot. If y'all want to do outros, go right ahead.
Mama Maggie Ward, I have books. Yes. Please visit my page. Please listen to my rant that I cut from an hour to 13 minutes on my video, and just, find the path that works for you for writing. If something's blocking you, hop ahead of it, hop around it, find something else to work on. If you've got burnout, don't feel bad about having burnout, taking a break. Everybody's brain needs a break.
Yeah.
You do you, boo.
All right. And my name is Skye. I'm a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance under the name SD Haggis. And I mentioned earlier that I have a lot of projects in circulation, and I have a multi-part video series that I'm currently working on and posting where I go into all those projects in a lot of detail, actually. So that's fun. It's been great. Kill me now.
Yeah. I know the feeling. I feel you. I just want to pop this up here real quick. The Nano Discord that Devin runs is still there. So I'm sure Devin has a link somewhere on her things. So look it up. I can probably, after we end this, I'll pop it in the comments, Devin's channel and social medias and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you again for joining us for another Breaking the Block episode. We will be having another one every Sunday at 10 a.m. EDT, unless something happens, and we will try to let y'all know. But usually we will switch channels every now and then and all that good stuff. It's a lot of fun. Good knowledge base. Great ideas. And I hope you join us for the next one. And we will see you then.